So this is the GameStop Holiday Gift Guide of 2025. So we're going to be taking a look at it to see what exactly are the gift suggestions for this year. As you all know, we are officially in November, meaning Black Friday is around the corner, and then we have the holiday. So let's see what exactly GameStop is recommending this year. Starting off, of course, we're going to have the first party games on the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Switch 2 in the front page because, of course, this is going to be the newest console available for this year. But as soon as we open it, we are going to be going over to the PlayStation side of things. So right away we're going to see the PlayStation 5, and of course they have Ghost of Yotei. Literally, I feel like Sony is really pushing for this game. I mean, they even made a special edition for it. And then of course we have the gift cards, but that's kind of a boring gift, you know? Then of course with PlayStation, they're going to be promoting the PlayStation Portal, and I have one of these. However, personally for me, I use it very little. I mean, it's okay, but you have to stream everything. And as for the earbuds, I never really understood why anybody would get those over the headphones. And then of course they're going to be pushing for The Last of Us, even though this game literally got released on the PS3, then PS4, then PS5. I don't really understand why they're promoting the PlayStation VR when they literally basically already stopped support for this. Then of course we're going to have the controllers because, you know, it's always a very good gift. Everybody can use an extra controller, especially after slamming it against the floor. And while you look at that, we also have Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I personally played it, got stuck, and then I stopped playing it, but yeah, there's that. And then this is the headset that I was talking about, where I think this would be a better idea than the earbuds themselves. And then again, we have Last of Us again, this time for PC, getting promoted. Sony, The Last of Us has been out for years, we've already played it. And then of course we have Astro Bot, which personally, I actually really enjoyed this game. It's one of the few games I actually decided to go ahead and get all the trophies and get platinum. God of War Ragnarok seemed to be pretty cool, but I haven't finished the whole game. And as of the PlayStation 5 with 2K26, I'd probably say it's a good deal considering that it's the exact same price as the standard PS5. I personally have never liked any of the sports games, however, you know, if it's free and it's at the same exact price, you know, why not just throw it in there, might as well. And then we have some more games over here, which in this case, I feel like the only one that I would really be interested in is Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Now, personally, I have never played the original, and I know that this is a remake, however, I do kind of want to give it a try. And then of course they're going to be promoting some of the GameStop exclusive stuff, since this is literally GameStop's holiday gift guide. The thumb grips, I feel like they're okay, I guess. If they're anything like the Control Freak ones, then I feel like it'd be a pretty good idea. And if we flip the page, we are back into the Nintendo things, which in this case, the wheels, I personally have them, but I don't even use them, to be honest. I got the steering wheels just to play Mario Kart, however, I used it for literally, I think, one time, and that's it. The rest of these games are not even compatible with it. Not to mention, so far the main issue that I have with the Switch is that most of these games are literally all on the original Switch, except now they have a little update to them. And then of course they're going to be promoting their other stuff, such as the camera right here. However, the camera is literally almost useless. Then we have a couple of more games, including the most controversial game of the year, Mario Galaxy 1+2. And then for whatever reason, they decided to promote Pokemon Legends ZA, but for the original Switch version instead of the Switch 2 edition. Which is interesting considering that the Switch 2 edition of the game actually works on the original Nintendo Switch. And yes, I made a video explaining everything about it. But not just that, besides that, we also have some Xbox stuff here, which of course they're going to be promoting Call of Duty Black Ops, since, you know, they bought Activision already. But to be honest, these last few months, Xbox has really gone downhill, like to the point where I don't even feel like owning an Xbox no more. I bought an Xbox, I loved it, I played Halo, and then now Halo's coming over to PlayStation, so it makes no sense. Personally, I kind of feel robbed, but that's besides the point. Then we have some of the Square Enix games. So some of these I've played, some of these I have not, so it's going to be on you guys, honestly. And then we have the Sing games. These basically remind me of Guitar Hero from back in the day, except personally, I'm not the singing type, so I would much rather do the Guitar Hero. At least that way I can shred my guitar until I get booed off the stage. And then of course, GameStop Trade-In, but we're going to skip over that because we don't do that around here. We collect the games. And then of course, we're going to have Hori. They literally have a bunch of different accessories, and they have two different kinds of cameras for the Nintendo Switch. However, I feel like they're both the same exact thing, but just with different skins. This one looks like the Piranha Plant, and this one does not. But at the end of the day, they both are detachable. They also make the steering wheels for the Nintendo Switch, which I've always personally kind of wanted to try out, but I don't know if it's actually worth it. I know they make two sizes, the one for adults and the one for kids, but if you guys have those, let me know what you think about them in the comment section below. I'm actually kind of interested. Then they have this company right here, which I guess they're mainly known for making a bunch of different themed video games after movies and video games. However, personally, I don't know if they make really good games. But hey, if you're into those kind of games, then good for you. Everybody has their own preferences, and I have mine, so you do you, you know? The 2K games are actually pretty interesting. The main ones I would go for, and the only sport I would kind of go for, is WWE. However, this is literally a game key card, so I refuse to end up getting one of these. If only they actually put the game on the actual cartridge, then I would have definitely gotten that. Then of course we have the meta, and take a look at this. They randomly added Godzilla in the mix, and also Dragon Ball Z, which of course it's a very big franchise, so it makes sense. Personally, I really actually like Dragon Ball Z, and of course more promotions over for GameStop, but again, we're going to skip over that. And then we have the toy section here. We have some Ninja Turtles and a couple of other collectibles from Batman, some cards, and a couple of other stuff such as the Pokemon Vaporeon, but don't go getting some of those, because if not, I know what kind of man you are, and it is not looking good for you. And how could you go wrong with the holiday sweater? Personally, these actually look really interesting, especially the Spider-Man one. If only it didn't have that text, I would definitely probably get that. Swing into the holidays. That's kind of cringy, not gonna lie. Then we have some of the Funko stuff, but then we have EA as well, which personally, these games are literally almost a scam. Like, look at this. This is Split Fiction right here. This isn't even a game key card. Battlefield seems to be the only good thing on this page right here. But personally, I would probably rate the holiday gift guide of 2025 about a 7 out of 10, mainly because they didn't even include the prices of many of these items. Lucky for me, I actually know what most of these things actually are. Not to mention, I also wish they would have included some of the retro games, but besides that, it's pretty good.